Good morning. On my morning 2.6 mile morning walk, and I was going to do a walk and talk about the April 8th total eclipse and the devil's comet that's coming behind it. And I think I'm going to do that video this afternoon. I got some interesting thoughts I wanted to share on the April 8th total eclipse and everything. But this morning, I wanted to talk to you about money, having money, and not having money. Okay. So it's 37 degrees this morning. It's cold, it's rainy. And I was thinking, oh, I'll just take today off. I'm not going to walk today. I'm just going to sit in the house and stay warm, have some coffee, do some Bible reading and, do some work on eBay and, just take it easy in the house like I would usually do on 37-degree days where it's cold, rainy, snowy. I like to hibernate, okay, if it gets that cold. That's how I've been for the last 10, 15 years. But let me tell you something. That's a sign of having too much money. When you have too much money, you won't do the things that you would do if you didn't have as much money. And it's weird because when you have a lot of money, you get comfortable. You're not in survival mode. You're not moving around as much generally, and you're not getting out of your comfort zone. Now, when you have less money, you have no money, you start getting in survival mode. It makes your blood pumping, it makes you get out and do things that you wouldn't normally do. For instance, as a child, I grew up extremely poor. I lived by the Illinois State Fairgrounds. And for fun, when it snowed and it would be freezing out, I would go sledding 12 hours a day and it would be below zero. I would not care. And I would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, 11, 12 years old out in the freezing cold. And I remember them days and I was so happy and I had so much fun being poor. Okay. And then when I got older, I started getting more money and having more money, and I wasn't in survival mode for the longest time. And, let me tell you something about money. Having too much of it, it'll make you lazy. It could lead to depression, Now, only wealthy people, and this sounds a little weird, and I could be wrong, that's my opinion, but people that's depressed, that's only the people with too much money, okay? Or their parents got money. They have a safety net financially where they're not going to hit rock bottom, okay? But if you have somebody with no money, with no safety net, with no parents, with no family, nobody ever going to help you out, you're back on survival mode, okay? So you're going to take walks in this 37 degrees. You're going to be happy with it. You're not going to care because you're in survival mode. Okay, so you out here surviving. You're gonna do anything to survive. Doesn't matter about the cold weather. Now, if you have an abundance amount of money and you're so spoiled yourself rotten, like some spoiled milk in the fridge that needs to be thrown out, you're not gonna take cold walks. So, and also you look out through history, like the Spartans, they lived very poor, and he was the most strongest, tough warriors there ever was. And they lived without, and that makes you strong. Having less makes you more strong and more happier. Having more can lead to being unhappy. Strange as that might sound. Spending less is freedom. The more money you make, doesn't matter. You could make $1 million a year and be depressed. Never leave your house. Can't go no place. All these Michael Jordan, all these big athletes and, famous people, Michael Jackson, whoever, they don't really seem too happy to me. They don't leave their house and, they can't really just talk freely how they want to talk. You never see Michael Jordan just talk about anything that's on his mind. He got too much money. A poor person, a person with low income, he can say whatever he wants to. He don't care. It's not gonna take none of my endorsements away if I get on here talking whatever I want to. So it's a freedom with having low income. Surprising, you know. And then the more income you have, the more money you spend on stuff that makes you unhappy, you know. And then you have to keep spending money for the maintenance of it. Let's say you make $1 million, you buy a $1.5 million house, so you're already in debt, and then you have to pay the upkeep, the taxes, the property taxes, maintenance, and utilities, you know. And then you're already in debt, and you're making all the money in the world, but you're still in debt. And then so now you're working 40, 60, 80 hours a week, spending money on stuff you don't need, stuff you don't really even want, stuff that's really making you unhappy. And yet you're working all these hours and just to pay for stuff you don't need, instead of spending less, working less, and doing things that make you more happy, you know. So I don't know. That's a little thought that I had this morning when I was thinking about, oh, I'm not gonna go on my morning walk. Well, I'm in survival mode. I love it. This is where I love to be. This is how I was raised. And I don't like to have an abundance of money and all that stuff. That's me, at least me. I wasn't happy when I had more money, and now I have less money. I'm way more happier. So it's kind of a lie trick, you know, to think people, they tell you as a, kindergarten, make a lot of money, you're gonna be happy. You make $1 million, woo. That's the goal of every kindergartner in America. Oh, I wanna be a millionaire. Life's gonna be great. So let me work 80 hours a week my whole life. Hopefully I'll be a millionaire one day, Hey, it just don't lead to happiness. I hate to tell you guys that. You could spend as much money as you want to. It's not gonna lead you to happiness. As a matter of fact, while you're making this money, you're not spending time with your loved ones. You're not spending time with your friends. You're not spending the quality time that you need to make these relationships grow. Instead, you're working, chasing the money. And then, when it's all said and done, when you're done chasing the money, then what you have left, So I would suggest chase happiness. Don't chase the money. That's a lie. Stop listening to the rap songs. Stop watching the movies where they glamorize and glorify having big bags of money and, oh, you're gonna be so happy. Look at these videos. They're doing all this stuff and they're just so happy, but really they're not. They're not really. It's a big fake show for the most part. Now, some people can have a lot of money, be happy, but they say in the Bible, they say for a wealthy person to make it to heaven, that it's like a needle in a haystack. Something with a needle, an eye of a needle, is super hard. And let me tell you why this is. Because they have money in America. It's a capitalistic system. Basically what that means is you have to capitalize on people's wants and needs. For instance, if there's no clean water in America and you're the only person that has clean water, then you could sell, water for whatever you want to, and you could capitalize on people's needs, and that's how you get ahead in America. So it's kind of, you really have to make it successful in America, and you want to be all this multi-millionaires, you really have to do sacrifices, and you have to go through things that you probably ain't gonna want to go through. So yeah, I would just want to share that to you, with the difference of having money and not having money. For me personally, spending less money equals more happiness. Spending more money equals less happiness. And another thing is, I don't like to spend money on stuff that I don't need. I feel like I'm psychologically tricked my whole life in buying stuff that didn't even exist 100 years ago, and all this. And that's what we spend our majority of money on, is stuff that wasn't even around. Like, for instance, I hate paying my cell phone bill. I hate paying, now hate's a strong word. I'm gonna say dislike. I dislike paying my internet bill. And I plan on cutting it off this month. And I'm gonna save $150 a month, which is gonna allow me to go on adventures in real life instead of sitting on YouTube and sitting on Netflix and spending all that dang money just sitting there watching somebody else's life. That's gonna lead to depression. And another thing is sitting around watching movies. If you watched 1,000 movies in your lifetime, you probably have blood circulation problems. You sit down for 2 hours, an hour, you sitting down for an hour, 2 hours, watching movies, you're not getting your blood circulation. You're gonna die early if you watch a lot of movies. That's just how it is. And then also you're being brainwashed. All the movies that you watch, all the music you watch, it affects your attitude. It affects your train of thought. In 100, 200 years from now, people's gonna look back and be like, wow, people actually paid $250 a month for cable programming. And, they're gonna say, ha ha ha, programming. You was being programmed and you was actually paying $2,500 a year to be advertised to. These should pay you to watch TV. These should give you $500 a month to sit there for hours a day watching advertisements and being brainwashed. They should send you a check for every movie you watch. They should pay you. You should not pay Netflix. And then, so you take away the money that you're spending on internet, phones, and all that. Then you get out, you use that money to take trips and vacations and get in nature and go do things that's actually going to bring you fun, health, and happiness. Okay, so that's just a few little ramblings and that I felt like sharing with you guys today about money, survival mode, depression, and the effects that money and not having money will have on somebody. Survival mode does not allow depression in your life. When you have no financial safety net and you have to, you have to pay child support or you're going to jail. You have to, you have to do this. So it motivates you to do that. Well, I hope you guys get the point. Hope that kind of made sense to you guys, where, just don't think having a lot of money is going to bring you happiness, because it really doesn't. Spending less money makes me more happier. I don't like to I feel unhappy when I psychologically tricked to buy the new PlayStation 5. When I get psychologically tricked to buy the new Jordans. When I get psychologically tricked to buy the new iPhone. It's dumb. It's dumb. And we are being manipulated and tricked to spend money on stuff we don't need and we don't want every day. 90% of our income is spent on stuff we don't need or want. Stuff that was just invented in the last 100, 200 years that didn't even exist. Cars, cell phones, internet, car insurance, all this stuff. None of it existed even 100, 200 years ago. So all this stuff was created just for us to work and keep buying stuff that we don't need. It's kind of like psychological slavery. Like we're indentured servants working to buy stuff we don't need. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. So I don't know. I just been on a mission to spend less. And I've been doing that, trying to spend as less as I can. And it's been very rewarding for me. And so maybe you might want to try it. Cut your bills down as much as you can. Anything you don't need, cut it off. Start thinking about how you can get your food for free, how you can get your electric for free, how you can get your water for free, how you can get your heat for free, or low cost. Because it's a ways, if you use your brain and your intelligence, you can figure out all them things. And you don't have to spend abundance amount of money on it. And your happiness will increase. And if not, it's worth a try. So with that, I'm gonna close. My walk's almost over it. Thank you for listening. Leave any comments, even any criticism. I love criticism. Even I'm thick-skinned. Nothing's gonna hurt my feelings. Say, oh, James, you're wrong. Having money is everything. Money is power. Money brings happiness. I just want to work all the time. I want to have all the money. I want to be a YouTube star, and I want to make $1 million a month so I could just spend it on whatever I don't need. So if that's how you feel, leave a comment. Tell me that the more money you have, the more happy you're gonna be. So if that's how you feel, I want to know how other people think. I know I think differently than most people. I always have, and I always will. So, and I'm fine with that. So, leave a comment if you disagree, or leave a comment if you do agree. I want to hear from you guys. Thank you.